Yo, what's going on, my dudes and the one girl watching this? 6 months ago, I decided it was time to jump off the deep end of the comfort high dive and raw dog cold turkey quit nicotine. I think I said this in one of my previous videos. I was around 9 months clean or something like that. That was a mistake because it's been 6 months as of February 1st, 2026. Which, by the way, shameless plug time. Please go check out my other content. Maybe even consider subscribing if you like this video. Now, I wanted to make this video for personal reasons, but I also wanted to make this video to maybe inspire you, the viewer, to quit nicotine. I mean, shit, every single corner you turn, you see somebody vaping, smoking a cigarette, popping a Zyn. You could be a preteen, an adult, a fucking grandma. It doesn't really matter. Nicotine doesn't discriminate. And it seems like it has the vast majority of society by the nuts right now. So I guess maybe use this as your sign to quit. And if you're watching this, then you probably want to quit or are thinking about quitting. Now, before I get into the spaghetti and meatballs of this shit, I just want to go out and say that I am just a normal guy. I am no saint. I have had issues in the past with addiction and a lot of other things. So me being a normal guy and everything, I'm here to say that quitting these things is, well, hard. And that's probably something that you've experienced if you've tried to quit these products in the past. But if you're going to quit them, that's something that you're going to have to settle into if you want to kick the habit. You know, really David Goggins your way through this shit. You know, carry the boats or whatever. Now, for me, the big baddie was nicotine. For you, it might be some other substance. Who knows? It all kind of relays the same. You know, I'm not scared to admit this, but I really have tried everything. I mean, I went to college, I went to high school, I've seen it all, you know, and nothing ever really stuck to me like a good old cigarette and a good old Zimbabwe every once in a while. I might reference Zins to Zimbabwe's, by the way, throughout the video. I don't know why, I just heard it from my friend one day and it just kind of stuck. I started these addictions young, 14 years old to be exact. And looking back, I was really degenning it up with those stats. I was ranked on the leaderboards as NA #1 top degen in the world at the time, you know. Shit, honestly, I'm starting to wonder where my parents were. Jokes aside, I actually had a good upbringing, good parents, good school, good life. The real killer was my curiosity, and I just fell into the wrong crowd early, trying different substances like it was my after-school job, getting addicted to things that I probably shouldn't have even known about until I hit my adult years. It's really scary looking back because a lot of those substances really fucked me up, really messed with a lot of things in my life, but they never really gripped me and dragged me down as far as they could have. Fortunately for me, I kicked a lot of those habits pretty early on, but unfortunately there are a lot of people that I know who still do these substances, that still perform these habits. I would say I kicked a lot of those habits halfway through high school, maybe towards the end of high school to be more precise, and decided I wanted to get my shit together. I said enough is enough, and I threw my middle finger up to being a victim of peer pressure. But obviously, like I said with the whole nicotine thing, something stuck. I was smoking cigarettes and vaping all the way up until I was around 24 years old. That's around 10 years in the hole of addiction. Thinking back to the amount of money I was just throwing at the wall for that stuff is absolutely insane to think about. Thousands of dollars. Shit. Tens of thousands of dollars wasted, and for what? So I can freak out when I lose my jewel in the couch, so I can leave the family event early to go smoke a ciggy banger. When I was around 24 years old, it was pretty obvious I needed to make a change, that I needed something else to latch onto. Smoking and vaping were really fucking up my lungs and just overall my mental health. I had a friend who actually had a collapsed lung from this shit. And by the brace of the degenerate god, that's when I ran into Zins and pouches alike. Now, I'll say this, for anyone trying to ditch cigs, just try this, or some sort of alternative like nicotine gum or something like that. Just something to get you off of smoking, because that shit is absolutely horrible for you. I mean, just looking at some of the negatives, you have increased potential for heart disease, stroke, diabetes, the infinity stone of cancers alike, and the list goes on and on and on. So getting off of that shit should be priority number uno if you're really trying to quit this stuff. Because I'm just gonna shoot it straight with you, Junior. Without nicotine gums, Zins, and other products like that, I would still be ripping packs of cigarettes like Pokemon scalpers rip packs of children's playing cards. Quitting cold turkey doesn't work for a lot of people, including myself. For some people, yes, it definitely does, but the withdrawal for some of these substances, especially nicotine, can be fucking intense, like rage-inducing intense. Another shameless plug here real quick. In one of my last videos, actually it was my first video, I was talking about a quarter-life crisis, and I was basically going through this whole existential crisis at the time, and I swear to God, this all lines up, looking back, it all lines up up with quitting nicotine. So quitting this cold turkey and just quitting overall can also be depressing inducing. Everybody really reacts a little bit differently to withdrawal. Like those first few days, first few weeks were so damn intense. I felt like my brain reverted back to Neanderthal mode, going straight caveman brain, thinking only about nicotine. And that was all with me limiting myself with consumption over these products, like going from 5 Zins to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 till I was off of it. So I really couldn't even imagine going from like half a pack of cigs a day to just quitting outright like some people try to do. But anyways, getting back to pouches, I was on the Zins for a little bit and I eventually got to the point, and I'm so glad I got to this point where I said, fuck this, I don't want this to control me anymore. Like I don't want to be a Zin zombie waltzing my way into a gas station just staring at the back counter on which Zin I want. I didn't want to be the guy just sitting at my desk playing video games just fiending for a Zin, fiending for a hit of a fucking vape anymore. So I really asked myself, why am I even doing this? What's even the point? I don't even feel the effects of nicotine anymore. Like you guys probably don't even feel the effects of nicotine anymore. There's so many times you could do it until you just stop feeling that feeling that you get from it. Like the only feeling I would get from nicotine is just normal. And without nicotine, I just feel angry and depressed. And it wasn't until a few days in and quitting this stuff that I realized, like, holy shit, I was a lot more addicted than I thought. And I think that this is something all of you will realize if you try to kick the habit to the curb. I remember over this like almost 15-year stretch of officially quitting this stuff. No, it's a little bit less than 15 years, but close to 15 years that I was like, wow, I can just drop this whenever. But this is really my first time trying to quit this stuff, and it is tough. You really don't realize how many things you are suppressing within yourself when you are quitting. Just real quick, I want to give some lore, a little bit of substance to my own personal situation. Personally, I was using the substance all the time. It all started out in what I felt like was a stress suppressor. You know, smoke a cig if you're feeling stressed, but that turned into me doing it at home in between my video game matches, hitting the vape while playing the guitar, smoking a cigarette at the bar with the boys. So this thing that was a stress suppressor, a quote unquote stress suppressor, was now leaking into the chill moments I was having in my life, really destroying the idea of what I thought a cigarette was for in the first place. It was almost like everything in life after that became a stressor. Video games, guitar, shit, even hanging out with family. And I know deep down those aren't stressors, those are relaxers, but my brain latched onto this idea that I need to be consuming this nicotine shit to not become stressed. I don't know, I may just be talking into the wind. You might just be like, what the hell is this guy even rambling on about right now? But everything just felt stressful in my life after I started getting addicted to the substance. I guess that's just the effects that it came with when it altered my brain to become dependent on it. And I never truly knew the means of addiction and grasp it had on me until those first few weeks of quitting it. Now, here's something super interesting that I found out after getting past the addiction cycle, because around 2 weeks to a month into the withdrawals, it will start kind of going away, like the craving for nicotine itself. But what doesn't go away, and comment down below if you get what I'm saying, the psychological stimulation that these products give you has not gone away from me. And what I mean by that is, say, take a draw from a cigarette, that tightness that you feel with the harshness on your lungs, or that burning mint sensation on your gums that you get from a Zin has not gone away from me. Stimulations, nicotine aside, at least for me, has been the bane of my existence these past few months. I still crave those things so much. And I know for a fact it's not nicotine, because towards the end of my whole nicotine existence, I guess you could say, I was starting to get paranoid whenever I would consume it. But this isn't paranoia. This is just a simple craving for these like stimulations. Now, to be honest with you, I guess you could call it feeding the dragon, but I've gone crafty with it. I've been trying different products to try and stimulate those needs. Which, shout out to the Fedora Lords, the waifu slammers over on Reddit, because some guy mentioned that using icebreakers like the mint to replace a Zin is the way to go if you're trying to kick the habit. And I can confirm this does help that stimulation out. This does fill the void very, very well. So do me a solid, next time you're fiending for a Zin, maybe just try to pop a mint up there. It may just work out, and I mean shit, most of the time when people have Zins in their mouth, they're just doing monkey brain shit like slamming on their keyboard at work or ripping some arc raiders with the boys. Just throw a mint up there instead of a Zin, see what happens. Maybe you'll get enough stimulation from that alone to try to kick the habit. Now, like I said before, I'm only around 6 months into this shit, but my head is high. I don't want to go back because I already know what those withdrawals will look like if I do. I really don't want to go caveman mode again, to say the least. Now, you may hate what I have to say if you made it this far into the video, but I don't have the blue magic pill for you to bite down on here. There really is no Krabby Patty secret formula to quitting this habit. It really is just a personal journey for you to take yourself. But maybe using some of the tips that I said throughout the video can help you. Maybe my personal story will be enough for you to kick the habit. I don't know. A lot of people don't know this, but according to the internet, which is always correct, obviously, a study found that nicotine is 17 times more addictive than heroin. So to say that this is one of the most, if not most addictive substances in the world is a massive understatement. It's a hard one to kick, like I said earlier, but I feel like it's a must-do journey for anyone who has gotten addicted to these horrible substances. Nicotine and big tobacco have been the #1 killers on this planet for a long time, so take the plunge and get off of it. Like I said earlier, I'm just a normal guy. I would even argue that I have a bit higher of addictive personality than some of the other people, so if I can do this, you can as well. And just remember, this whole nicotine thing, it really only takes like 2 weeks to a month to really get that cycle cleaned out, and then it's just all psychological at that point. I'll probably make a 12-month check-in video once I get to that point, which I will get to that point. I'm pretty confident in saying so. Maybe some of these psychological effects that I'm feeling will cease to exist by then, but I guess we shall see. If you're new here and have made it this far in the video, thank you. I really appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. And if you like the video, please consider subscribing and also liking the video, obviously. It really helps with the algorithm. We're on our way to around 200 subscribers. I think that's the next major goal. So if you like the content, please come back. I want you to come back. And I say this at the end of each video because I want you to know what I'm making on this channel. We make all sorts of stuff from funny material to more serious content like this. I would say it's good to have a healthy mix in such serious/non-serious times, you know. A lot of serious and non-serious things going on in the world. But anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.